All right, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching this video from. All right, so it's Tuesday and it's another day that we'll look at the market and see the direction the market is about to take so we can maximize the information that we're going to gather right now. All right, so this is the dollar index and we are looking at it from the monthly perspective for our directional bias, okay? So initially we have this range that the market has created. Okay, so this market is currently in the corrective phase, but then we want to see what is happening in the lower time frame to see the movements. Okay, so this is our range. So we might be seeing the market doing this, then go back to the upside, or we see the market keep dropping and drop until we have a break of this low. Until we have a break of this low and we see change of structure, then correction to the upside, then we keep going to the downside. But for now, we are very, very bullish from the monthly time frame. So let's check what the weekly is saying and let's know the direction for the week. If we're going to have a bearish candle or a bullish candle. Okay. All right. So this is the weekly time frame. And the market is looking more bearish than bullish. All right. We have these structures taking place. This was the last bullish move to the upside and structure broke it. We had a break of structure, correction. We had another move that took out these lows. Then we now have this move that has taken off these highs. So this is our impulse correction, and we might be seeing what another impulse to the upside, or we'll be looking at the range to see if the market is still going to do more corrections to the downside. So here is the weekly range. So price is currently within the range. So we want to see either the market is going to push back to the upside or we keep going to the downside until we have a break of this low, a break of that low, and then we have a correction to the upside, then pushes back to the downside. So, but for now, we are all bullish because of what this impulse that has taken place. So we have this impulse from the weekly time frame, which is showing us the range in which price is right now. Okay, so bullish weekly time frame, bullish monthly time frame. So let's see what the daily is talking about. All right. All right. So this is our weekly range, but then we have our daily range of the market. Let's get rid of this. Okay. So let's look at the market now. We have a range from this point down to this point was our last bearish move. Then price took this out, created this low and this high. Then finally created this range. And price is currently within that what range. All right. So it's more like we are still what bullish. It's more like we are still what bullish. So monthly, weekly, daily, they are all showing bullishness. Means that the dollar is going to be strong. All right. Then now let's see what the 4-hour is talking about, and let's see if we'll have a reversal coming in the middle of the week or not. So this is the range that we're looking at, the daily range that we're looking at. So let's see what price is doing within those range. Okay. Okay, so this is the range that we're working with. We're working with this range, this one and this one. So, but we did the range. What is market doing? Okay, so we have this last push to the upside as an impulse. Then structure broke this, and we had a correction. Then another what? Impulse coming to the downside. Then we now had market taking out the previous structure. All right. So we had this what? Impulse to the upside. Okay. Then now we now have break of structure. So you can remember the last time we were looking at this market, we looked at what? Impulse, correction, and then what? Impulse. So all of these is one move. From this point to this point is one move. So we are looking at this market going to the upside, get our trend line to see how far it can go. So we might just be seeing the market pushing to the upside. The market might just be pushing to the upside to give us stronger dollar. All right, maybe we can get to this trend line, this level. So we might just get to this level. All right, and we might go back to the downside. But since we are bullish from the daily, it means that we might most likely see a break of the trend line, a retest, and we keep going to the upside. But if that does not happen, we'll see a correction because this is an impulse. Then we'll have another what? Impulse to the downside. Okay, so this is what we are expecting for the market to do. So for this week, we'll be looking at the dollar to be what? A little bit strong, although it's in the corrective phase from the H4 time frame. So although a little bit strong, we don't know what else it will do. Maybe we're having moves from levels around here for the market to keep coming back to the downside. All right. So, but for this week, let's look at the dollar being what? Strong a little bit. So let's pair it with other pairs and see how we can trade it. So we can do Euro USD. Let's look at the major pairs. Euro USD and see what the market is doing. Okay. So let me take these out. Let's get it done. Let's look at the daily time frame and see what's happening. Okay. So on the daily time frame, it's obvious that the market is in a bearish environment. Last impulse to the upside, break of structure by this low, correction, another impulse. So we have a range. Where's our range? We have a range here. So price just currently tapped on that. We have our range there, and here is another range. Okay, so we might be seeing the market pushing to the downside for possible correction from the H4 time frame. So since we are bearish on the daily time frame, we might see the market push down further. All right, since we are what? Bearish, we might see the market push further to the downside. So, but then let's look at what the H4 time frame is saying, so we can know exactly where the market is going to end while pushing. Okay. Okay, so we have our structure here. Break of structure, last impulse to the upside. We had a correction. We had another impulse. We had another correction, and we had another impulse. And another correction, then another impulse. So all of this is more like one move. It's one move. All of this is one move. Okay. So if we want to look at it, we should be seeing that this market should drop further. All right. So we have our range from this level down to this level. We have our range there. So we want to see the market drop further to the downside. Then before we think of it doing what? Maybe drop further, then push back to the upside. But we will not neglect what the daily is saying, because the daily is equally what? Bearish. All right, we have our range for the daily as this, bearish. So all of this will just be a move to the upside, then we start seeing the market dropping back to the downside. So for the week, I'm seeing that Euro USD is going to sell. Let's check GBP USD also. Let's see what the market is doing. All right. Okay, let's check the daily time frame and see what's happening. Okay, so from the daily time frame, it's obvious that we are bearish. All right, we are what? Bearish. Last impulse to the upside, break of structure, impulse correction, another full impulse. So we are within the range right now. So we are within the range right now. So this is more like the market is doing a what? A correction. But we might see pushes back to the downside, since we have seen that the dollar index is what? Bullish. Okay. All right. So we might see this market going down. All right. Going down. So let's check the H4 time frame and see what is happening there. All right. Okay. So from the H4 time frame, we will notice very well that we change structure from here. We had this push to the upside. We had all of this correction. Then we had another impulse. Then another correction. Then another what? Impulse. All right. So now we see the market giving us an impulsive, a corrective move for an impulsive move. Okay. So we have this range from this point to this point. So we might just see this market dropping to the downside. Okay. So this is the reason why I will be trading in line with the strength of the dollar. So the dollar is more like it's strong. So I'll be trading in line with the dollar, the strength of the dollar. Okay. So, we've talked about how to look out for the strength of each of these currencies. So the indicative of the dollar is, which is the index, you can see very well that it's pushing to the upside. So it's pushing to the upside since we are what? Since we are bullish, we have our bullish range, our daily bullish range from this point. All right. So we want to see the market push back to the upside. Then, since we are in a corrective phase from the H4 time frame, we might see it push to the upside and go back down, or breaks the trend line. Then we keep pushing to the upside. All right. So these are simple ways of looking at the market and getting the strength of the market, and looking at for other pairs that you can trade in line with the strength that you have seen in the market. So for the US dollar for this week, we are going to be strong. So that will cause us to sell Euro USD, cause us to sell GBP USD, cause us to sell AUD USD. So all major pairs we go in favor with what? With the dollar. Okay. All major pairs we go in line with the what? Dollar. Okay. So we have major sales around these levels. So if we look at this, let's look at this and get our structure from the daily time frame. So break of structure, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. We had a break of structure over here. And now we now had a break of structure over here. All right. So This is more like one impulse, and we're having this as a correction, then another impulse. Okay, so AUD USD is more like a set. So we have a range here. We have a range from this point down to this point. So this is our range. So what's the H4 time frame saying? So the H4 time frame has been bullish. Yes, it has been bullish because we have this, first of all, last push to the downside. Then we had our impulse to the upside, impulse, correction, impulse. All right. So all of this is more like a correction. I want to see the markets come down, then push up. So anything that has to do with the dollar, we have to go in favor with the what? The dollar. Let's look at NZD USD. NZD USD. All right. Oh, wow. Nice. So for NZD USD, it's more like we are super bearish. Okay. It's more like we're super bearish. That's the last range to the downside, and market has not exceeded that range. So it's more like we've been in a ranging market for some time now. We've been in a ranging market for some time now, and within this very point, we're having another range from this level down to this level, a little range. All right. So without saying much, we can see very well that this market is within a range, and then might see the pushes to the downside. Okay, it's all right. Thank you very much, guys, and thank you very much, and we'll see how everything plays out for this week. Okay, so thank you very much, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the notification bell so that you get every update from me anytime I post a new video. All right, so thank you very much, and see you next time.